Well, hello traders. Thank you so much for joining me. Are you ready for this next week? I don't know. It's just crazy, isn't it? One thing I do wish is that when I'm watching TV, now that I've already voted, I should be able to hit a button and not have to watch any more of the ads from one extreme to the other. They're just everything is just permeating with news of the election, the upcoming election. So, but us as traders, we have a lot more skin in the game than some people do, or at least we can choose to if we are going to be trading this next week and certainly into the upcoming months. Now, let me talk a little bit about this last week. We had some great earning results come out, but the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ, all three of the major indexes, they were down for the week. Now, October is typically a less performing month. There's September, and then October comes along with it. Now, oftentimes on an election, we'll see a relief rally. There will be some momentum possibly to the upside, and then they will start digesting everything that has happened, and that where you can certainly see some volatility. Well, moving forward. Now, one thing, of course, you want to look at is, well, it doesn't matter which side you're on. There's certain things that are going to be impacted by the election. Now, if Trump wins, you might have an initial uptick. Now, then, if Harris wins, there also could be an initial uptick. However, if Harris wins, there might be more volatility because then there could be a dispute as far as the victor. So there's a lot more uncertainty going forward. So there's so many things this year. I know you've heard that probably every election year. This one definitely is different, and a lot of things to be on the lookout for. So let's talk about how you prepare for it. If you are going to be trading this next week, there's a lot you want to look at, particularly on a longer time frame. But let's look at the S&P. This is the daily chart in front of you here. I know I have a lot of lines on here, but let me explain why. This is the daily. There's a trend line here above that met a high of 59.27, and this is on the futures market. It made that, a couple of weeks ago, October 17th. It hasn't hit that. It hasn't gone back to that level yet. We have a strong trend line below. We had a wedge pattern that formed here over this past week. It did not come back and violate that back into that wedge. It extended down further. And extended even below the 50 exponential moving average, which is something I always have on my daily charts. And it met that trend line again, but it did not break below it. Now, when you look below it, and that's what I mean, you want to be prepared for upcoming week because there's going to be a lot of volatility. So we had a range of 110 on the S&P Futures Index on Thursday, 70 on Friday. So there is a lot of movement, a lot of repositioning. So like I said, there's going to be a strong movement, so you want to be prepared on those higher time frame charts as to where that resistance or support might come from. Now, I do have some support level down here below. There was quite a rally, as you can see right here. And then we had a basing, and then we had another rally kick off. And that would be below my trend line if it breaks below that trend line, but we might see a little bit of support coming in right here if it does indeed go down. Now, if it moves back up again, we have some resistance line here on this horizontal level. This is right about 59.09. So we'll see if it can break up above that and then extend and possibly even make another new all-time high. So that's what I'll be watching for on the S&P on the daily, but I did drill it down for you for looking into the early part of next week on the 1-hour chart and the 15-minute chart, so we can kind of see what might be happening and that how it'll impact then going into Tuesday and beyond. So on the 1-hour chart over here, I have another trend line, and this is the EMA here. This is a 20 EMA I have on the 1-hour chart, and over here we have a 15-minute chart, and that is also the 20 EMA. Now you can see here on the 1-hour chart, it went above that. The RSI was strong, as you see below, and then it came back down and went below that EMA. Now the RSI, there's a little divergence there that it's coming up, but not very strong, still well below the 50 on the RSI. So that's what I will be watching for as far as a 1-hour chart, and then drilling down to my 15-minute chart. I have again the trend line here. I have a horizontal line below because I figure that that could be a great support area, as well as my resistance up above here, which correlates to the resistance on the 1 hour chart here. So when we're looking at our 15-minute chart for possibly tomorrow, look at these levels, see if it's going to break above, below. Look at the RSI on the, if you can see that on the 15-minute chart below here, it is very weak. So we'll see if that continues. Now let's get into a couple other areas that will definitely be impacted by the election coming up on Tuesday. Over here, this is gold, and over here is oil. So let's talk about gold first. Now, gold typically, kind of takes the momentum or the structure of the major indexes during election cycle. It kind of aligns with the market sentiment in that regard. It's definitely is a safe haven. Now, if depending on the results of the election, things might settle down. You might see a little reversal in our gold price. But right now, as you can see in it over time, gold has just been on a tear to the upside, as this indicates to you on this trend line. And this is a 50 EMA again on the daily chart. So we'll see if that does hold. Gold did meet an all-time high in the futures market this last week. So that there's a lot of global activity on the gold market, looking for that, like I said, that safe haven to kind of hedge some funds over there, at least until all the kind of the dust settles on the election. Now on oil over here, oh wow, look at this huge wedge on the daily chart here. We got a triangle coming down here and then down below. Oil, let me tell you, that's my will react definitely to the outcome of the election. Trump is, drill baby drill, more oil, whereas Harris on the other side is more of green energy, housing support and such. So, though either one of those could severely impact the oil going forward. We also have OPEC relationships globally. So we'll see. And how are they going to look at it depending on the victor of our election? So you really want to watch oil in this next week. And like I said again, if it's not clear, who the victor is for a while, and it might take a little bit, you're going to see even more volatility in these markets. So please be aware of that. And there's just so much uncertainty, and as well as all of that with the election day, we have the Fed minutes are coming out on Thursday this week. Typically they come on Wednesday. This week it's coming out on Thursday. I don't know if they will take any headlines off of the election results or not, but we do have those coming out on Thursday, and that's expected to have another decrease in our interest rate of 25 basis points. So we'll see if that does hold true. So, if you're at all reluctant and, scared about, don't trade with your capital. Trade on your simulator. Do some testing and see if, I know it's hard. Sometimes you'll say, well, I was on a simulator and I did so well. I should have been in the real game. But no, like I said, us traders, don't put your skin in the game if you're at all skeptical, and, you don't want to, it's not a gamble. You want to be sure, you want to still meet your rules. So trade with traction, not distraction. Totally appreciate your spending your time, and trade with caution next week. Thank you so very much. Take good care.